Hey, what's up guys, I'm Praetorian and welcome back to Crusader Kings 3, Wards and Wardens. So I know that we did just join this war last episode to assist the Emperor, but I think it's about time for us to recognize the writing on the wall. So if we take a look at the factions here, you know, we have our independence faction, which has these two powerful dukes in there as well as ourselves, but there's already a dissolution factor, which is led by the Duke of Angria, which is probably the most powerful duke in the realm. Yeah, I think so. You got the two kings, ourselves and the King of Bohemia. But yeah, I think he's probably the most powerful of the duchies. And so, therefore, I mean, this is going to end anyways, because I think he would win that war unless we fought him. And I have no desire to fight him when his goals align with ours, particularly with us wanting to go independent here. So we might as well just go ahead and leave this faction here, and then join this one, which will allow us to immediately take it over. And then we're going to let it play for a minute, maybe a month or so, to kind of let the situation update. Let his situation update. You know, that he's in a lot of trouble right now. This is one of those knights that came in. He's only 35 gold, so yeah, we'll recruit him. He's not great. He's okay, though. So we'll go ahead and recruit him. I didn't even know we had a mercenary contract, but apparently we do. Okay, well, we're just going to leave this as is. We don't need to extend that at all. Don't even need them. So we will not raise our troops up because this war is actually going to be irrelevant soon. Big event about blood on the snow. So is this a event for our daughter? Yeah. So it comes from nowhere, hid me clean in the temple. I didn't even see the projectile coming, much less trying to dodge. And for a moment I stagger, blinded. A sharp hail of giggles rings out behind me, and I roll. Beatrix rises from her hiding spot, another snowball already clutched in her vicious little hand. So he can say, "Good shot, come here, you little rascal." Oh no, you got me. And then we'll let her pelt us again. I think you can face me, or you think you can face me in a snow war. Child or no, this is a battle and you intend to win. It's a martial challenge. Or say, "I'm busy, go bother someone else." We might say that as a callous character. We've been a decent father, trying our best though. And I just feel like this is more likely. We'd say we get kind of a little angry and start pelting her with snowballs and she'd be disappointed. I think that's the one we'll go for. We'll also get some prestige if we're successful, which we did win that snowball fight. Might have been a little embarrassing if we lost the snowball fight. And looks like that war was declared for independence. So they restarted the faction, and so he's in even more of a dire situation now. I wonder if anybody else joined that conflict besides those two dukes. Nope, just those two. The reason why I wanted to wait for the end of the month is I want to make it as likely as possible that he'll accept this offer, or I should say this demand, rather than have to actually, you know, fight the war, which we wouldn't fight it. We'd have a 100% war score immediately. And then we could force him to give us what we want and dissolve the HRE, but it would be better if he just accepted it. And with his current situation, does he have a choice? He really doesn't. So I think it's for his best interest if he just accepts. So we got this event here about somebody who falsely converted from Judaism. So I don't know that we actually care, but we'll do the interrogate this heretic. I think it fits our character a little bit better. And we offended them. Okay. Alright, so now we're in February. Let's go ahead and send in our ultimatum. And let's hope that he agrees. And he did. Alright, excellent. So that's exactly what we wanted. So now you're going to have a mess of the former HRE when it comes to map gore. But I think a lot of these will eventually be added into these kingdoms here. Ours, the Kingdom of Bohemia, or be conquered by other kingdoms along the edges, like the Kingdom of Poland, Pomerania. I don't know if France... Yeah, France could attack these two here. But yeah, we'll have to take a look now and see which ones are willing to accept becoming our vassal. We did get an offer for a betrothal for our heir from the King of Aragon. However, he already does have a son here, a couple sons. So she won't be inheriting anything. You would get the claims, but we actually have a lot of better options for marriages. So we're going to decline this. And I'll be showing you guys in a minute what our three main choices are, because we've got three really good choices. So we're now independent. I think this war here will just be ended because there is no Holy Roman Empire anymore. So I don't think that's going to be able to continue. So we'll get an event pop up that says that it's no longer valid option for war, I think. So we have three options for dukes that we can vassalize. So this one here is pretty powerful on our borders, but he would only accept low feudal obligations. So he has lower taxes and lower levies. And so obviously that's not the most desirable. However, he's also on the border with Bohemia. And so if we don't send the offer, then Bohemia might do it. And so I think we should go ahead and do so. This option, Holland, is not as necessary to do right now if we wanted to wait to try and get normal feudal obligations, because there's nobody else he's probably going to accept as a vassal. He's right here in our borders. There's no other kingdoms around. And so I don't think he'll accept it for anybody else. You kind of got to border somebody. Every once in a while, they can be a little further apart, but generally you need to border them for them to accept vassalization. So we don't need to send it to him. We can try and get regular obligations. This character's also in between us and Bohemia, though, so we should probably send the feudal obligation offer to him as well. We'll wait to mess with our council because everything's going to be changing. These are both likely to be powerful vassals. And it's unfortunate because they'll have those low feudal obligations. So they'll have more money and levies to act against us. Okay, so I think that's all we need to be aware of in here. But let's go and take a look at those marriage options. So this is one that was brought up in the comments. People wanted me to arrange a marriage for Princess Melisende. She is the daughter, the eldest daughter of King Hugh II. Now, when we first looked at this, King Hugh was still alive, and thus the King of France. But he died in 1110, so it's been 6 years, or, well, 5 years and a few months since then, because he didn't have any sons. His daughter inherited his duchy and counties, but could not, due to being female, could not inherit the kingdom of France. And thus the Capet dynasty has lost the kingdom. And instead we have this dynasty in power. And this is not even the first ruler there. He's King Hugh III. It was another character. I think it was his brother. That character's brother. This king here, who actually took the throne. And he died in 1113, so only had it for about 3 years. He was shredded by a boar, so he went out hunting and died at the young age of 34. And he also didn't have a son, and so his daughter inherited all his titles. And so she has the same number of titles, though they're all counties here compared to her. It's one of hers is a barony, I believe. Or she had a couple baronies. So she actually has less counties than this character. She is much younger, though. And so this is the second option for a marriage for our son and heir. Our son is 8 years older than her, while being 4 years younger than her. So both of them are good options. Now, if we would actually be able to inherit those titles down our main line is questionable, because it really depends on the crown authority in France and whether they let characters inherit outside of the dynasty or not. They'd have to have low crown authority for that to work. However, if our son and his spouse had more than one child, which you'd assume they would, then that second child would inherit their titles. And so it'd still go into our dynasty, it just wouldn't be directly ours. So those are both potential options. As far as would they accept the marriage, we're going to take a look real quick, because I suppose that's important, because they do have to accept it. So with her, she would not accept unless we did a grand wedding, because of course she probably prefers a matrilineal marriage. This 4-year-old, if we arrange the marriage with her, would she accept? No, but she would accept a grand wedding, so basically the same rating there. But there's a third option, somebody who is actually ruling a kingdom over just a duchy, and that is the Queen of Castile, who's 13, so much closer in age to our own heir than those other two. And she has an entire kingdom here. In fact, she has 4 kingdoms. So clearly the better marriage. But would she accept? You would think not. But that doesn't mean we can't change the situation. Oh, wait a minute. She got betrothed. Okay, so that's unfortunate. She wasn't betrothed before I started in today's episode, but she got betrothed over the last month, apparently. I don't think she would have accepted, though. I think I checked and she was really close. I can't recall because I did look at a lot of characters before he started, so I might be remembering a different character, but I think she was close. And so maybe if you just boost his opinion a bit, she would have accepted. And that would have also required a grand wedding. I think all the marriages, the good marriages, required grand weddings to be even close to them accepting. It doesn't matter because she has already arranged a marriage with this other character here. Okay, so he doesn't hold any titles or anything. Doesn't look like he's set to inherit anything either. So you only have these 2 choices then. So we'd have to do a grand wedding. Now there could be other choices as well. We can go and take a look real quick before we actually arrange this. And we'd want to base it off of alliance power. So best way to find a good marriage where he might be able to inherit something. She's only heir to a county currently. Yeah, we don't want to do this marriage. This is already of our dynasty here. You could get an alliance with Bohemia. So that was the only other king in the HRE after it disbanded here. So I suppose that would be an option. We already did a marriage into Scotland, so she's related to us distantly. I'm not entirely sure how exactly, because I don't know what has all happened here in Scotland, but I think she's probably related to us. Okay, so yeah, there's a few good options. I don't know that we'd actually inherit anything, because I'm not seeing. Let me just see if there's any other characters that have titles. Let's go with rank and see who the highest ranking are. So let's enable a grand wedding, and that'll also help us find high ranking characters. So there is a duchess over here. This is in Greece. But yeah, I don't think that's a good marriage considering the fact that she's a lot older than our son. Looks like she's having some health problems too. And it's just far outside of where we care to increase our authority. So really these are the 2 best choices, these 2 characters here. And so as far as which one looks better, adding that into our realm, well, it depends on if you're able to get like Burgundy to accept vassalization, which it looks like they're close, but not quite there. If we had a better liked king, or another thing we could do is try to increase foreign affairs now, but you'd lose that bonus to domestic affairs, which we probably need because we have a lot of powerful dukes now in our realm who could try and act against us. But yeah, that's one potential way to try and increase the chance that these countries are joined. But if you get like Upper Burgundy in, then she would be a pretty good choice here. Otherwise, it might be better to go with her, just as far as like areas we want to expand into. But yeah, this is deep into France here with getting all this Burgundian territory. So yeah, both of those are good options. She's older, she's younger. Got to wait longer with the other one, but generally you want your son's wife to be younger so you can have children for longer. As far as her traits go, compassionate, gluttonous, and vengeful. She's also irritable. Something to consider. And then also her skills, nothing really impressive here. But with her, you really don't know what's you're going to be getting here because she's still so young. So you don't know what her stats are going to look like or what her traits are going to look like. So at least you know what you're getting here with this character. And there's no saying that she even survives to adulthood. She's so young. That could go many different ways. So I think this is probably the better option. Just because it's a for sure thing. So yeah, let's go and arrange this marriage. It's unfortunate that we couldn't do the Queen of Castile. We'd have to have done that wedding as soon as the game started, and that might not even been an option because I think it was pretty close to accepting. But yeah, I think we would have to do something to try and get opinion up. Now, there's also the option of trying to just waiting a little bit. She could end up getting married to somebody else, though, so that's a risk. So you don't have to do the grand wedding, because the grand wedding is going to be expensive, and we'll have to do it in 4 years here. So something to consider, but it makes a lot of sense that you'd do a grand wedding for your son and heir and a princess of France. So yeah, we'll go and do the grand wedding, guys, and send that offer out. And yeah, not a bad choice there, guys. Yeah, that war was invalidated as expected. We got this event again. So we'll go with this option here. And there's an option to send our daughter to meet her peers, so why not? Hopefully it goes well. Generally, that's where they get their bullies. She did accept the betrothal offer as we expected. Also, he is now our vassal, so we extend our territory over here. That may allow new vassal opportunities. We're going to end up basically recreating the HRE. It's just this character. Yeah, we're going to end up recreating the HRE here. It's just going to be underneath our kingdom instead. Now, we could recreate the Holy Roman Empire if we wanted to. But I don't know. I don't know if that would result in it being an election, elected monarchy again. You'd assume so. And we don't want that, because then we create it and we just are back in the situation we're in. We'd want it to be like something that our dynasty would keep and inherit. So I'm not entirely sure how that works. It might be set to always be an elected monarchy. I don't know, though, because it's been disbanded and started up again. You know, in that case. Might just be best to keep the kingdoms, though. Oh, looks like we're already being called into war to protect our spouse. And this is against the King of France. Oh, it's going to reduce his tyranny, or it's going to reduce his crown authority because it's against his tyranny. I think that's what it would do. Let's take a look, because we're going to accept this, obviously. We don't want our son's future wife to be arrested already. So yeah, if we were to enforce our demands here, he would be deposed, and you would reduce the crown authority to the level that would allow us to inherit that territory. So yeah, this is actually going to be really helpful for us. But the main effect of this rebellion is that he would be deposed, and so that would put his son, a boy, on the throne. So France would be much, much weaker. And what we could do is arrange a marriage for him after the war. That'd always be an option as well. Maybe we can even get like a hook on him if we can capture the king and go straight into his territory and capture him. Let me just take a look and see how the numbers look for this war. So she has pulled in, or at least the faction. I think the faction had them. I hate how if you click that, it messes it all up. And you can't see who's in the conflict. So we gotta look this way. But yeah, several powerful dukes. The Duke of Aquitaine and the Duke of Toulouse. So we just took a look at their numbers here. I mean, you can see that they're quite powerful. This is the majority of France that's currently in rebellion against the king now. So this should be an easy conflict, considering the fact we have 2 times the numbers. But Sweden's going to get involved as well. So you got his 6,000. They're going to be coming down. It's going to take them some time to get here, though. All right, so we have the money to raise our troops up now, and we want to get involved with this as soon as we can. She's already going after the capital here, so that will not allow us to do that. That's okay. I mean, we really don't even need to help out in it, but we will. Maybe only raise up our men-at-arms to save money, since there are so many troops here, so it's not really necessary for us to raise up the levies. And we have 9,800 troops of our own. Let me just see how the numbers would look if we didn't pull those up. Yeah, we'd still vastly outnumber them, so I think we're okay to only pull up the men-at-arms in this particular case, because it just gets too expensive if you pull out the entire army. But where would we want to invade? I suppose, since she's already gone after the capital, you come up over this way. Maybe do that battle with that army. We'll have to see where they go, though. I'm not entirely sure why they're going out to sea right now. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it? So we're just going to raise up the men-at-arms here. And turn this down just a notch. And as for who we're going to have command, well, he is the same commander advantage as we are, but he also has the traits here, the unyielding defender being the most important. But yeah, I could see us leading this particular war. We've never led one of our own wars before. So why not? Why not lead for once? And so we are outnumbered by this army. That counts our levies. 2.87 thousand levies, so we would be able to win that, but we can't just go marching in and attacking, can we? It looks like we can. I was thinking we were going to take attrition. We would be going across the ford, though, so obviously that's not the best way to do this, guys. They're not rebelling, are they? No, they're not. Okay, so yeah, you could just go ahead and take over these locations. God, that would take a while, that one right there. Yeah, we'll just do the siege for now, because, yeah, we wouldn't have reached them in time anyways. And this will be our way of... Oh, looks like I marched a little too far. I meant to go right here. We'll march back. And we'll have to see where he's going to land. Is he in another war? France must be in another conflict. No, not in another conflict. He's just taken off like a coward. Moved his whole army out of here. Alright, well that's strange. Maybe he decided to wait till Sweden gets here, but Sweden's here now. Yeah, very strange. Now, Sweden might attack us here. They get the penalty, but they vastly outnumber us, so... Yeah, they have like 2,000 more men, but that also counts levies, so something to consider. This is a pretty decent knight. He is a little bit older. I don't know if we want to pay him too much. Yeah, he wants 105. Yeah, considering the fact he's going to be losing his skills soon, I don't know if it's wise to recruit this guy. When he's not even in the 20s. It's a lot of money. I don't think we're going to recruit him. We recruited several others. We recruited 2 of the 3 knights that they send to us. I think that's enough. What we do want to check is see if there's anybody who can now, I keep clicking on the wrong thing here, take over this Iron Knight position. It's just Ubert, the former Iron Knight, so we would not be putting him in that position. What about over here if there's anybody better? Yeah, I think you could go ahead and have this character take that over. These guys are the same age. And you don't want the positions changing too much, because every time that you change it, it loses some of the glory. Every time a new person takes that over. Now, they would not have the same primary trait, but that's generally the case. So he is going to attack us here. Alright, that's interesting. While we would win the battle against just them, France is also coming. We can't even get out of here anyway, so it doesn't matter. Could raise up our levies here. I think that's what we should do now to make sure that we're able to win this. Has got more troops coming, and so yeah, it would make a lot of sense to go ahead and raise the levies here and then send them in. Although it's going to take 33 days. We might not be able to raise them all up. We'll raise as many as we can. Give it a little bit of time here. We only have 759. Alright, so let's go and stop this and then send these guys in. And then we can even start the process up again to go ahead and raise even more of them. That gets another 2,100 into the battle, because we would lose without these guys. It looks like we're going to lose anyways. Okay, so that's unfortunate. Yeah. So even with the penalty they had from coming from the sea, it wasn't enough. Okay, so let's go and stop this and get these guys moving out of here. In fact, we can probably just go ahead. Well, you can't disband them because we're right next door. So that's unfortunate. We lost this first battle here. And thus our accolade did lose a rank here. Also, the Duke of Bar died in that battle. Okay, we'll have to take a look and see what all happened in this conflict. Also, we need to look at our council because we got all those new dukes here. So that's very unfortunate it went down that way. We could have defeated just the one army, just the Swedish army, but when the King of France came back, that did ensure that we were going to face defeat here. I was trying not to raise the levies and just do, you know, battles on the outside here, but yeah, our allies, she didn't even move to come help, which is unfortunate. She might not have been able to get there in time. But yeah, unfortunate situation. It is what it is. At least we have played a role in the conflict some. I think what matters here is that we lost that Duke. So let me just take a look at the events. So he was successful. The mayor here was successful in killing Fabrice. Or Fabrice? I'm not entirely sure how that's pronounced. But the Duke was killed by this Count Marcus. So who took over his title? Because yeah, his son's already dead. Okay, so it was his brother that took over. He didn't have any titles. Okay, so he is not a powerful vassal. His brother wasn't either. As far as powerful vassals go, we have 2 in the council, and of course you still got this damn mayor here, where we could force him into being a knight. That's what somebody is saying we should do. He is really old. Yeah, if you force him to be a knight, he'd probably die. I might just wait for him to die naturally, though. He's 62. How much longer will he last? But yeah, you got 2 dukes here who want a position. And so he recently came of age. And he's okay. He's got the good intrigue and the good diplomacy. Not as high as you might like, but not terrible. And then you got this duke here. He has a lot of skills that are at least average. So I think we'll probably want to put him into a position. He would be the best as the marshal of these 2 choices. And he's better than this guy too. Okay, so yeah, I guess we'll put him in as the marshal. Probably makes the most sense for us to do. Yeah, and then maybe we can move him over to Chancellor in the future. So we're going to assign this character here, and that'll make him happier, since he was not happy with us at the time. Let me just make sure we've got the council doing stuff that we want them to do. Yeah, we need to collect taxes. Need to increase in control. And we're still trying to find secrets in the Duke Otto's court. Okay. We might want to work on characters, on our borders next. Trying to see if we can't force them to become vassals. You can't use the hook, though. That's right. We could actually get this character in. Let me see what other options we have. Because yeah, there might have been some more that opened up here. The Duke of Bavaria is already willing to. Interesting. I hate that we're doing all these low feudal obligations. Obviously, not the best situation here. But our character's not well liked. Yeah, he seems even less likely to join us now. So you could wait for these ones because there's no other kingdoms for them to join. But Bavaria does border Bohemia, so there's the chance. And I really want all of this territory here. So we will go ahead and give him low feudal obligations. Obviously not the best situation here. And did our wet nurse die? Or did she just leave? Oh, she got too old. That's right. I think it's 46 when they're removed from that position. So we need to get another wet nurse if we even have anybody available for this position. Because it reduces the chance for children to contract illnesses, and there's other child development events. Seems that nobody can fulfill that role. Okay, that's fine. We still have the Duke in prison as well, so it could ransom him for 100 gold. Let me just take a look. Would he be willing to? Because it would be interesting if we could make him our vassal. Well, he's at war. What's the war over? Okay, so it's one of his countesses. So this would actually result in him being overthrown if he loses, which seems likely. It seems he's very likely to lose that conflict. So might as well just ransom him at this point. Though, I do want his artifacts. Because he still has all these artifacts, which are rightfully ours in my opinion. I wonder how many we can demand from him. At the very least, we'll do the throne of Charlemagne. He accepted that vassalization offer. Excellent. But yeah, you'd think there'd be some type of limitation on it. Oh, we need to get these guys moving back. Alright, so now they're going into this territory. How long will the siege take? 6 months. Alright, so they're going over here, so we'll bring the rest of the army over there. So we did become the owner of the throne of Charlemagne, so we're going to want to go ahead and put that in place now. You see, we have a already barren court at the moment. This is going to increase our prestige, renown, reduce the men at arms maintenance, give a few other bonuses as well. It's pretty helpful. I don't know if we can do anything else here. Because, yeah, you'd think it would be, yeah, it is limited. You can only do it every 5 years. So he has all those awesome things. So what you might want to do is kidnap the boy and then demand something from him. If you were to say kill this guy instead of releasing him. But he would be, yeah, I guess there's the fact that if he loses this war, then he's going to lose his titles anyway, so then you get 100 gold. But we do need to try and abduct this kid here, and it's easier to do, although you can't tell it's easier to do. But we're going to go ahead and do that. It's easier to do if he's not a ruler. So we'll try and make that happen. It looks like there's just nobody willing to join currently without having to give them money. So there's really no reason to keep the boy anymore. Might as well just get the 100 gold from him. Other than if you wanted to execute him. But if he loses his rebellion, it doesn't matter anyways. And you piss all these people off. Does help us get some more dread. Dread's gone down by a little bit. But yeah, really not enough of a benefit there, I think. I think we should just probably release him. Could get the weak hook on him, but you can't use that to make him a vassal. There's really not much you could do with that weak hook. So yeah, I think that's probably the best way to do this, guys. Is to just go ahead and ransom him off for the 100 gold. And we could always use more money. Especially if we're going to have all these wars going on here. Alright, so our court grandeur did increase. That ransom was accepted. Excellent. So we're at 544. That's interesting. I thought we'd have more than that. Alright, so let's go ahead and just merge all these armies here. And we're going to put ourselves back in control here. And where is the enemy army? So sit at 8,600. And so we don't need to support her in this. We just need to wait for them to take off so we can try and do another siege. I might get rid of the levies again, guys. I don't know. Because we can't beat them, even with our current numbers. Yeah, we wouldn't win this. And we need her to finish the siege up of Paris anyways. So I'm really tempted to go ahead and disband the levies so we don't have to pay for them. Let's go ahead and do that, guys. I don't know if there's a button to remove all levies or anything like that. There might have been. Alright, and we want to put ourselves back in charge once we disband this here army. But apparently we're too close. Alright, so let's put ourselves in charge. And then this army, once they get far enough away. And you know what, I don't know that we need to, I mean, he is a vassal. We could try one more time. Remember, he's over there in Bavaria, who's now our vassal. This is what Lotharingia now looks like. And so a lot of this was to our benefit when we disbanded the HRE, because a lot of them are, you know, becoming our vassals now. A lot of new notifications up here, and we see what's about. Of course, we have those powerful vassals we're going to want a position. And it seems our cousin, Duke Otto, can be arrested. We can grant him a pardon, of course, if we just want to boost opinion with him. We would succeed in imprisoning 100% chance, so it seems like it'd be wise to do so, considering the fact that he's a powerful vassal. We want to put him in the stewardship position eventually, but yeah, he's very powerful, and so maybe you want to take a title from him to kind of reduce that power. That would be an option. What exactly did he do? Oh, he's excommunicated. I see. Yeah, let's imprison him, guys. That makes a lot of sense for us to do so. He just accepted becoming a vassal, and then we immediately throw him into prison. That's pretty messed up. But fits with our character, of course. So let's go ahead and disband these levies now to reduce how much we're paying our army. We did get him locked up. Excellent. So you could keep him in the prison so he can't act against you. That's always an option. Or we can try and revoke a title from him. So just take like the entire Duchy of Bavaria from him. Greatly weaken him. Because here, this is not as effective because it doesn't have any counties with it. So you just leave him with that one. In fact, that might... Yeah, you take all these counties from him. Yeah, that would probably result in him... Because he doesn't have any counties at that point. He would no longer be a duke. As you can create your own duke down here, if that's what you desire to do. Remember, we do already have... We only have one duchy title, so you could keep that and have a new base here in this duchy, if you so desired to do that. And one big problem here is holding these two counties that we have here is causing him to hate us. Duke Arnulf, he's a chancellor and our brother-in-law. Now, luckily, he is allied to us, so we don't have to worry about him rebelling. And so there is that. But yeah, you could grant him those titles if you want to, end the issues that you're having here. I guess it's 3 titles he wants. Oh, yep, that's in his duchy too. So that would always be an option because we can't act against him because we're allied with him. So we can't ever, arrest him. And he's very young. I don't want to just leave him in the prison because I'm worried he'll die with his aggravated wound. He could also escape though. That's always a chance too, though it's unlikely. I think it's better to probably just seize this title. That does mean we have to grant it all out though. Grant all those territories out right now. So that's one reason to potentially wait. Let's see what happens. Oh, Paris is already seized. And we're still losing the war, despite the fact that we've taken over the capital. So basically, we need to help out with this battle here. Because it looks like 13,000's going. We could take a look and see if we can't. Well, then we'd have to raise them up. I was going to say we could try and force that mayor into the knight position. This guy here. We can go ahead and select it and then eventually force him into it, but you'd have to raise him up, I think. I don't think it'd just be a knight, so that'd have to be for the next conflict. He might be dead by that point. So yeah, there might be a battle here that we can help out in. Not that we really need to help out, as they outnumber them. But you probably want to make sure that this battle kicks up here. So we're going to try and help out, because, she's got to chase him down. And that's going to cause some problems here. So we do have that one duke who's unhappy currently. Is this, yeah, this is the next trait here. And he can become callous as well. Is this his last trait? This is his last trait. He's cynical and greedy currently. Yeah, I just feel like just doesn't gel well with greedy. So we might just have to have another callous character here, guys. Also, this puts us at a critical stress level as well. Something to consider. Not the thing that really impact the decision we make there, but it is something you want to note. She's able to do a book about intrigue. She's competent. She's not great. Do we have another book position? You can always rotate them as well, because the current book that we have here, I guess we gotta go in here to look at it, is for the marshal. So what's really nice is if you can have a book for every type of education eventually, so that you can, whatever your character is, you can have a bonus for them. So why not? Yeah, we'll go and do this. It's only 50 gold, plus whatever else we'll have to pay her. I'm sure she'll ask for more money at some point. It's not going to be a great item, but, it helps. All right, so let's go ahead and help out in this conflict. If we can even get there in time. All right, so there is a chance to add a motto. And we could do this one here, which will give us 150 renown, or we say it is foolish and unnecessary and it gives us piety, but yeah, I think we'd want the renown there. How close are we to getting the next one? Well, as far as to get the next level of splendor, we're pretty far away. But as far as our legacy, we're about halfway there. Not quite. So we'll be coming into the end of this battle here. Another hybrid culture has been created. We'll probably see a lot of those now with all these independent rulers over here. And we just got to keep looking for neighbors that can be vassalized as well. And I'm hoping we can get these two to agree to vassalization with, full levies and taxes. All right, so we did win in this battle. Excellent. War score is still in the negative though, so we need to help out with a siege. Also, there's an army trying to take Paris. We might want to help out, or at least do the attack on our own. Because I don't know if she's going to do that. We don't want it taken back, and you see it's only 17 days. Jeez, I don't even know if we can arrive in time. Yeah, we might not be able to. Oh, okay, she didn't take Paris. She took this location. So we could take Paris then. Because I assume she's going to go after... Yeah, she's going to do that siege over there. And so we'll siege Paris. I thought she had already done that. But she had not. Alright, so it looks like what I feared happening did happen. I knew it would. So if we would have given Duke Magnus, our brother, the kingdom over here, then his son would eventually have inherited it and taken Luxembourg from us. So exactly what I feared was going to happen did happen. So I'm really glad I didn't give that kingdom out, despite a few people wanting me to, because it was just too risky. It was way too risky. It didn't make any sense to do it. So yeah, this family just can't seem to hold on to this title. I wonder if it's like somebody underneath them that's causing all the problems. It's got to be like this character, right? You would think. I don't know. I guess that person only has one county too. It doesn't seem like they have any powerful vassals. Yeah, they just can't hold on to it. I know when you're young, that causes some penalties there. Yeah, very surprising they can't seem to hold on to that. That's now 3 members of the family that have lost it. And unfortunately, this child was already abducted, so I was hoping that we could abduct him, but didn't work out. And it looks like Duke William has also been abducted. Or not abducted, but imprisoned. They were probably imprisoned in a conflict. So we'll see what happens there. We might want to start that scheme back up. Maybe I should have put them up there as... I mean, we know where they're at. They're the Duke of Frisia. Alright, so this is an event for that inspiration. And so we can say, I want to be one step ahead of everyone. And this will be on scheming and manipulation. I want women falling at my feet. That'll be on seduction. Or what topic does your muse yearn for? And then that'll have a higher quality. But we know that we don't want it on seduction. So let's do this option, because she'd probably pick it on seduction, and then we get a bonus for that, which we don't really want. And somebody's trying to murder Duke Otto. Alright, so since we're done with that battle, and we did sway the Prince Bishop again. Excellent. So still pretty far from getting that done, but getting some of his levies and taxes, so it helps. But what we need to do is probably handle this Duke now before something happens to him. Alright, so again, I think we're going to go ahead and revoke this entire duchy here, and then we'll have to grant it out. He was excommunicated, so it's not a huge problem. He has a rival, so we lost all that stress. Even though he became a rival after he revoked the titles, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense that we lost the stress now, because he wasn't a rival at that point. And so now we have 7 new titles over here, and obviously we're not going to be able to keep all these. So we're going to need to figure out what we want to give out here. Now we can keep the entire duchy. It's a huge duchy, and so it makes a lot of sense to keep this one rather than granting it out and creating a really, really powerful vassal over here, because we already have quite a few powerful dukes in our realm. So I don't think it would do to create another one. I'd prefer to keep these all, separate counts. But that means we do have to grant out a lot of titles. So I definitely want to keep the duchy capital. Actually getting that plus 15% holding taxes. They've already built the duchy building here. And we're not getting it right now because we hold too many holdings. But we'll get it as soon as we get rid of some of these. Alright, so we want to keep that one. Could keep the neighboring one here. It has lower control. It does have 13 development, but that's lower than what we got there. Yeah, so we're probably going to grant this one out, is what I'm thinking. And then maybe keep this one with 15 development. And so that means you do got to get rid of some titles. So we have a few here that we could get rid of. That's 3 total if we wanted to go ahead and give all these up to this Duke here. That does make him very powerful. He's not a problem now because he's allied with us, but in the future, this is creating a massive problem. He only has the one son, and so you can't even force. I mean, you can force it, but it might not have any effect. You could try and force him into the forced partition. That is tyrannical, but it's not going to have a huge effect here on his opinion. Yeah, it's just going to do the tyranny, which obviously affects everybody. He'll like us more though if you grant these 3 titles out to him, and so that's something to consider. I wish we could get something from him for granting these titles out besides just opinion. Like, hey, let me get a hook. I'll give you these titles if you grant me a hook. But yeah, we could grant him out all 3 of the ones he wants here. That's 120 opinion, plus you get rid of the negative 75, so he should love us. And given he's already allied with us, so his opinion's kind of irrelevant, since he can't act against us. What you could do is also not give it to him, so you're not increasing his own power. He wouldn't be able to hold all those titles anyway, you'd think, though. You'd think he'd have to grant those out to somebody. You know what? Yeah, he'd probably have to grant those out. He already has 8 current titles, now 2 of those are duchies, so he has 6 counties. And so I'm assuming that's the most he can have. And so I have to give these to somebody. So yeah, might as well give the full 120 opinion. Now, as far as what we're losing here, these are not well developed because we have not been constructing buildings, so they're not well developed as far as the buildings go. And then the actual development is also not fantastic compared to the ones down here. Bavaria is just a better location. Of course, we have our own territory here. You could grant this out, but I'd prefer to have as many counties in our main duchy as possible. We only have the 2. And then there's also this one over here. And we'll probably grant that one out. But even that would only be 4. So you still got to give 3 out inside of Bavaria. Okay, so let's go ahead and take care of this. Now, one other thing to consider is that these are Franconian. And so when we do the hybrid culture, you're only getting the bonus in 2 places. Yeah, that's something to consider as well. We're giving up all our Franconian provinces. And so then we do the hybrid culture and we only get that benefit in 2 of our counties, and the rest of them are all in Bavaria and Iberia. Yeah, that is a problem. I still think it makes the most sense to get rid of these. We'll let somebody else develop them because we're not developing them. So that's what we'll do. And remember, they'll become weaker if we do that partition. So let's go ahead and do that, guys. So again, this is going to piss off all of our vassals, of course. Because it's tyrannical. We could make it so it's not tyrannical by reducing his taxes or his feudal levies, or do something else to try and appease him. So like maybe, yeah, we don't want to do that one because we don't want to reduce our own development growth. Could guarantee him council rights. Ensure that you don't ever take his title from him. Or sanction war on his part. So yeah, you could give him like a bonus here so you don't get any tyranny. These do not help with tyranny. You can only do the one anyways. Yeah, we could do the war declaration sanctioned. And then he could expand his land zone. That could cause a problem. So you don't really want to do that. So I suppose the one that makes the most sense is to tell him you're never going to revoke his title. And you can always take that from him later. If you just don't want the tyranny. And it's better than doing these right now. And so that's what we're going to do in order to keep him appeased. So switch those out. Force the partition. And so if he has another son, then that son will get one of these duchies. But they don't have another one right now. She's pretty young. So there's still plenty of time for her to have another son. Yeah, their daughter's only 2. So yeah, that's what we'll do. Let's go and modify that vassal contract. And then we'll go ahead and grant him these titles. So these 3 counties here. To ensure that we're not creating like a really powerful duchy here for a long, long time where he's got the 2 huge duchy titles. Alright, so we'll grant those out. Now he loves us. So we've got a chancellor who really likes us. Oh, that's interesting. Was he in one of those cities? That was something somebody proposed, was finding the city he was in and then granting that out. I didn't know it was one of those ones, though. I probably should have checked that. So that gets rid of that problem there. I mean, he was a really good steward, so it wasn't a huge problem because he's actually pretty decent. But we got all these other people who want this position. And so, yeah, it makes sense to get rid of him so we can appease one of these powerful vassals. And so we might want to move the Duke here. He's kind of old, but move him from the spymaster to the steward position. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense at this moment. Because this Duke here, he's best at diplomacy. What about this guy? Let me just take a look. Yeah, that's really what he's best at as well. You could move him over to another position. But yeah, it makes most sense to put the Lecher in as steward. And then for the spymaster, I mean, yeah, he's actually better than him, so it fits. So move him to this position. And now our powerful vassals are a lot more happy with us, which should give us a bonus. Yeah, look at all these countries that are now willing, or these dukes and countries that are now willing to join us. You almost got him up. I almost feel like it would be wise. I've been trying for a long time to get this opinion up. And we really need the taxes and levies. But I almost feel like it would be wise to try and increase opinion with these guys who are close with us. Switch that over so that we can try and get them in with the normal feudal levies. Let me see who's the closest. It's probably going to be him. The closest to accepting the normal ones. Yeah, because now with the low feudal levies, you can pull in all these characters. Wow. Given we won't get any taxes or levies from them, so that's something to consider. It's going to really weaken us in the long run. Yeah, I suppose we'll work on this guy. He's the only one that's really close. So let's go and sway him. It's only 46% chances to success, though. That's not great. We'll try. And then with these other characters, I think him we can also wait on. This is just a count. Where is he at? Okay, so he's right here. There's nowhere else that we have to worry about him. He's really weak. I don't really want to give him that bonus. This character's over here. And how close is he? Not close. So I think we'll probably add him in that way. He's really far. The Duke of Upper Burgundy. I do want the Duke of Upper Burgundy, so let's do the low feudal taxes here to get him in. Lombardy is interesting because they're actually going to be of our dynasty one day, so it makes sense to probably wait for Lombardy, because I think we can get a much better deal here than the normal. Yeah, I really think we can, so we're going to actually wait on Lombardy as well. Swabia, probably not going to get a better deal there. This guy is older, so maybe his son is more willing to accept. I'm just looking at the traits and what we have in common here. Probably not. Okay, so yeah, maybe just do the low feudal obligations with him as well, Swabia, to get him in. Yeah, and the rest of these are ones we'd want to work on to try and get with the normal feudal levies and taxes. Looks like our rival and cousin, the former Duke of Bavaria, has died. How did he die? Mysterious circumstances. We never actually let him out of prison either, did we? Yeah, he was still sitting in the prison, and somehow they're able to get him. I guess it's not that difficult to kill somebody in a prison. We did get another men-at-arms regiment, apparently. We got some light footmen. Yeah. So we need to station a lot of these, actually, probably because we gave up those territories. That's right. So we do need to station all these men-at-arms. So let's go and see where the best place to station them would be. Oh, we can't do that while they're raised. That's right. So we'll have to wait until the conflict is over. So a lot going on currently, guys. We still have claims on all of these. And it does look like, he lost that war. So a lot of stuff he has there. So yeah, if you take him prisoner, you can also just do the steal artifact. You know what? Let's do that. We'll just try and steal the artifact. And we're going to want to steal one of these crowns because we don't have a crown yet. So I just want to see which one's like, obviously we want them both eventually because we have claims on them both. But as far as which one's better, probably this one. The Crown of Lombardy. Yeah, I think that one's probably the best. This one gets you more prestige, I think. You also have the better vassal limit for that one as well. But this one gives you that development growth and increases opinion with battalion, so it makes sense to try and get that one. So we're going to do a scheme to try and steal that. And yeah, we had a very good chance of success here as well. Let's see if we got anybody who we have hooks on. Alright, so we're still working on the siege. Also getting new vassals. So we got Upper Burgundy now. And Swabia. See if anybody else is now an option. Yep, we do have more people as options here. So yeah, might as well accept him because he's in the church. So you don't even do. Here's normal feudal obligations. Say we'll do that. Just bringing everybody in under Lotharingia, basically becoming the new Holy Roman Empire. without actually having an elective monarchy or an imperial title. If we had an imperial title, we could give out those kingdoms without actually losing them. And so that would be cool. One of our dukes was captured. And we've got an ability to micromanage this. I don't think that makes any sense. We'll just trust them to do their job here. We are still above our domain holding limit. I completely forgot about Bavaria. We didn't give out all these titles yet. So we still got to take care of this. So we can create, because I think the best way to do this is just to grant it out to counts. So this count here holds 4 counties. So obviously don't want to grant it out to him, but I assume whoever you grant this to, he's going to attack him and try and take it from him. So that's something to consider. Although with our realm laws as they are, he actually can't declare war. So we don't need to worry about that. So probably giving out the titles down here make a lot of sense. So we know we want to keep this one and this one. And so we just need to select, we got to select 4 titles. So we're going to grant out that one. And then maybe we want to look at buildings. That's what I'm trying to look at here. But they all have a lot of buildings at this point. They've all been built up a lot, but not down here. So these are clearly the ones we should grant out. And I think we're going to give this to the same character. Let's take a look at our knights, see who has served us well, who deserves a title. Remember, you can't give it out to acclaimed knights because that would get rid of them. So you got to grant it out to, oh, he's one of our best knights. That's interesting. The Duke. Well, you could go ahead and grant titles to these characters here in order to make them our knights, these guests. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to do it that way. Though maybe not to a lowborn character who hasn't served you. But somebody who's already got a noble title. Yeah, like this guy. You can give him a county. So he's an option. I'm just seeing who's all our options. This guy has served us well for a while now. He converted as we demanded. Likes us a little bit. So maybe you give it to him. And here's a third guy. So I think those are our three guys right there. Clearly. So I feel like you should grant to the people who have served you. The best titles, I mean, to the people who served you. So we're going to grant out these 2 titles to this guy. And so that'll boost his opinion by a lot. Nice loyal vassal here now. And then we have the 2 more titles to grant out to knights. Because we don't have any family members that we could give it to, unfortunately. And we don't want to strengthen any of our current vassals here. So which one's the best one? Probably this one here, even though it does have the lower control, but you can fix that easily enough. And so we want to give that to the knight who's been serving us, which is this guy here. So let's go ahead and grant him this title. And then the last one will go to that guest of ours who's not actually a knight currently. And we'll grant this to him in order to get him as a knight. And that's going to be right here. There we go, beautiful. Alright, so we've gotten back under the domain holding limit here. And we are winning this war finally, so that's good. It's a little bit of turnaround there. And I don't know what this betrothal is about. Oh, you know what? Okay, I do remember. We arranged this marriage so that it would stay in her family. Because it's matrilineal. So that's way down here. Could have also granted out this here, this county, but it is a high development one, and I'm trying to get these converted. You can still convert them even if they're not yours, but it was kind of like a waste of time, you know, doing that for a county you're not holding. Because there's other things you could have your Prince Bishop do. So we can actually sleep with the woman who's creating, that's interesting, who's creating this book for us. Now, it will lower the quality because she's not focusing on the book. Or we can say, no, I can't. Adultery is a sin. Or you say, wait, how dare you? We'd lose opinion with her, but we'd get some Heidi there. I don't feel like either of these fit our character. But I also don't want to turn into a lover either. Yeah, I guess we'll go with this one because neither really fits. Yeah, we'll just go with that one option. And yeah, we're not interested in romancing her. Can't do the normal obligations here, but you're very close, might as well wait. Makes sense to wait. Lost one of the agents there on that scheme, but still good chances here to be successful. Almost done with the siege as well. 7 days, just 1 week. And there we go. So with that, we have captured somebody important. One of his heirs, but not his main heir. Alright, excellent. Did we get anybody else? Or just him? Just him. Okay. So that is one of his brothers. Because he doesn't have any children yet, but he has a son. And so that's his main heir. We didn't capture him, but he's like his secondary heir. So I feel like we've done our part in this war, guys. Frankly, I don't want to pay for our troops anymore. And so unless we can do like a really easy siege. Yeah, I mean, there's some low-level places here. I'd be willing to do a really easy siege, but I don't want to do any high-level ones. Like over here, they're 4 or 6. This takes too long. Just not worth it. But yeah, we can maybe get our money back with the money you take from winning the siege and then from getting the prisoners. Yeah, because it's only 2 months. So you might be able to get, maybe not all your money back, some of it, and kind of help hasten this war a bit. Maybe it's a little better than just completely pulling out of it. I mean, not pulling out of it, but, you know, disbanding our troops. And our brother-in-law, Duke Arnulf, has insulted this neighboring ruler here. And he demands satisfaction for the slight. So we can say whatever it takes to make this well again and pay him gold. I just don't see us doing that. Arnulf will plead for your forgiveness publicly. I really don't think we would care. Yeah, I think we say, yeah, good one. So that's over here in Sardinia. I don't know why he's coming to this powerful king demanding this. In fact, I don't know why he's not coming here to offer his subjugation to us, honestly. Alright, so next event here for the inspiration is Creative Freedom. And so this is with Peter here, Antiquarian, so we can have him look over it, which would insult her. But 60% chance higher quality. 40% that it'll be a lower quality though. Stick to your own duties, Peter. Okay, so we'll actually gain stress because we're callous. Maybe because we want that's considered the callous thing to disrespect her that way. Or you say it's a time for a breath of fresh air. 50% chance that increases the quality, with no chance that the quality will be decreased. Are you like putting him in charge of it instead? Yeah. You're replacing her with him. I see. I don't think we need to do all that, but yeah, we'll put him over her. And it's going to be a lower quality now. Alright, well that's unfortunate. We did finish up that siege. So yeah, you only get the 8 gold because it's not a very large location. But you also have the chance of capturing somebody, so that's what I was considering. We didn't capture anybody, it looks like, but we might have been able to. Alright, so that was a really low level one that was easy. After this, it seems like you'd have to go after a level 3. The war is very close to being over, though. Though it looks like they're currently sieging Paris back. God damn. Okay, so we might have to stop this. Because, yeah, that would result in a lot of war score loss and the war going longer. And our wife is pregnant again. All right, excellent. Remember, we're still fairly young at 37, and she's even younger at 34. And so we really want to have another son. We have titles we could be granting out if we had another son. Could grant out a kingdom if you wanted to. Alright, so let's get these guys destroyed before they take the capital back. And there was a scheme discovered. Seems like an irrelevant one. And this is going to be the last thing that we do in today's episode. And we actually did capture the King of France. However, while this ends the war, I think I would prefer to just ransom him off because you almost won it anyways. Yeah, I feel like it'd be better to ransom him off because he's a king, so he's worth a lot. And so, oh, we can only get a hook. Does he not have any money? Oh, he's broke because of the conflict. I suppose that makes sense. So you can't even ransom him anyways. You could get a hook. I don't know what you'd use that for. I suppose if you wanted to, you could force like a matrilineal marriage on the prince here. Of course, I don't think that, again, the matrilineal marriages they're not historicals. I don't think that would be a good thing for us to do here. But could have him marry one of our daughters, but then that stops us from expanding into France. Doesn't really have a huge benefit for us. It's just an alliance, which we don't even need. This is the weaker kingdom, I feel. And also, the thing to consider is he's about to be overthrown. And I didn't even think about the fact he's going to be overthrown here very soon. And so, yeah, that's not even a good deal. Because, yeah, he doesn't even have a lot of counties anyway. He's got a county and 2 baronies. He's got nothing. He's incredibly weak. So, yeah, it doesn't make any sense to do that. But there's nothing else you could do there. Might as well just leave him in there, I suppose. Yeah. And then let the war end. So we can go ahead and we'll start marching. Well, we don't want to go that way. Start marching back home, but the war's going to be over here soon. I don't want to get this finished. Oh, nice. We got something constructed. Something that was started by the former Duke there. I wish he'd end this war. That's what we're trying to have happen here. Our daughter has come of age. She's already betrothed to the King of Croatia. That is a matrilineal marriage as well. That was back when we were still doing those. She got very good education here. One thing we need to do for our character is go to university. I mean, he's getting older. Maybe it doesn't make a lot of sense for him to do it now at his current age. It's something we could do. But yeah, we were involved in all these conflicts. That's what I was working on. But yeah, we now have an alliance with Croatia. Hopefully we don't get pulled into any conflicts over there with Hungary or the Byzantine Empire. Alright, so finally the war is over. That was the last thing I was waiting for this episode. So let's go and disband our troops. So we don't have to pay for those anymore. And we're actually earning pretty good money with all these new vassals. Alright, fantastic. So nobody else that we can currently vassalize. We already looked for wet nurse and didn't have anybody available. We do need to station our men at arms. I'm going to do this before I forget. We'll go ahead and get them all stationed in our new locations over here. Although I don't know if there's going to be anything really good. Might make sense to replace whatever character's there. Although this is just the light horseman. So perhaps isn't as important. But I'm just wondering if there's any bonuses that we could be getting. Because we know that these guys are in the capital. Where are these guys currently? They're the ones over there. So let me just see if there's any other better locations. Yeah, like this one's a really good location for them. So let's actually put them there. So still need to do the light footman. There might not be a lot of good choices left. We'll put them over here. And then, you know, they aren't really that important, but we'll put them somewhere. Why not? It does actually boost. Okay, that's interesting. It actually boosts the siege progress. I didn't know that. I assumed it would just give them like higher, you know, attack stats, which are useless for a. Yeah, they don't even have attack stats. Okay, so it's actually really good to go ahead and do that. I mean, it's not going to increase it significantly, but yeah, it's helpful. All right, so we've got all those stations. We got 457 gold that we can spend. A lot of things that we can do with that, like a tour of the realm. Maybe like you could do a tax tour, or you know, try and improve your majesty. We have some very powerful dukes throughout our realm, guys. So I'm definitely worried about factions. Also, we have artifacts that haven't been placed yet. Okay, we got the Sword of God. Where do we get these? Did that work get done? Let me just see here. Did not get a notification about it? Did I click through it or something with an event? We definitely want to put that in place though, so let's go and do so. Yeah, maybe I just missed it. That we had gotten the book completed. Maybe it was one of those events. I didn't see that was completed. So yeah, we got that put in place. We also got that sword, which of course that sword, I didn't look at the bonuses there, but yeah, it's giving us some extra prestige for dread, more renown, more natural dread, and more court grandeur. So all very nice bonuses there. In fact, this is going to get us up to level 6. Remember, we're still on a pretty low level here. Increasing up what we're spending here, which we have money to do, would be wise. So let's go ahead and do that. Get them up to all level 3. I think it's worth spending money on that. Because remember, our court grandeur impacts, you know, people accepting the offers of vassalage. And we get this bonus here too at grandeur level 7. Plus 20. So grandeur alone will give you bonuses, you know, because they consider your grandeur when they decide to become your vassal. But then because we're the diplomatic court, we also start getting bonuses at level 7. So it might make sense to tick up and even higher on the fashion and servants to try and get the people to accept these vassalage offers. Yeah, I think it's worth getting up to level 7 here, guys. So let's go and do that. I know it's expensive, but while we're doing these vassal offers, I think it makes sense. It's going to take us some time to get the grandeur up to that level, of course. But yeah, this is really going to help us quite a bit, guys. And maybe we can get them in at the normal feudal obligations. I wish we had gotten some of these more powerful ones in at the normal feudal obligations. It would have really helped us out in levies and taxes. Currently, levies is at 10,000. So we have a larger army now. Just looking at that compared to our neighbors. Well, of course, this war here is done, so you now have a new king in France. You could arrange a marriage for him. I guess you could have used that hook to force that marriage. Yeah, we could arrange a marriage for him, but honestly, I'd prefer to take his territory. I think that's a better option. Plus, we're about to inherit all this, hopefully. That's the idea anyways, when they get married. We do need to keep this money saved for the marriage. Maybe we shouldn't spend any of it. Yeah, the marriages are expensive. I think we should probably just save our money, guys, since it's a grand wedding, and he'll be of age here in a few years. So I think it's best if we go ahead and save and not spend it, or at least let it get much higher before we do spend it. We have a ton of wars that we could do. Could use the money for wars, and you need money for that war chest. And so look at all these conflicts that we got here, guys. A lot of different conflicts we could do. In fact, we might just be able to like force them, some of these characters into our, oh no, these are just over counties. But that's another thing. You can get increased opinion with your vassals by taking over land for them. She has territory that's rightfully ours. If we wanted to make that claim and get this, just could do that. That'd be particularly helpful before you gave out the kingdom, since whoever gave it out to is just not going to be all that strong. But yeah, there's a lot of different wars we can do here, guys. Just kind of hover over this so you can see the options. But yeah, a lot of choices here. What about the kingdoms? There's all these kingdoms that we haven't formed yet, and that'll give you rights to these territories as well. So we don't have the claim for Italy here, because this one is what we have, and we already own this title here, Kingdom of Sicily. So could use that to expand throughout here. I'm not gonna be able to do that title, but Germany is another one I'm curious about. So we're very close, just 2 titles away. So just 1 or 2 of those vassals coming in would be enough, and then we could use the money to form the Kingdom of Germany, have a rightful claim to all this territory here. That's another way we could do it. There's the Kingdom of Bavaria. We actually have enough titles for that one. Or no, we're short 1. So need 1 more there. So yeah, we could create more kingdoms. That would always be an option. Just start collecting the kingdom titles. Currently have 3. So get some more if we wanted to. So a lot of choices opened up to us right now. I hope you guys enjoy today's episode. I think it was quite eventful. If you did, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. Do hope to see you on the next one. And thanks for watching.